Hi, I'm Scott, a former military pilot and airline pilot from Texas. At 55, I decided I had had enough and embarked on a plan to retire in Thailand. So I did my homework, sold everything, and moved to Thailand. Now I'm living the dream. Welcome back to Text to Thai. In our first video, we talked about the decision to retire in Thailand and which city was right for me. In the second video, we talked about committing to the process, selling everything off, and also establishing a baseline for a standard of living here in the United States. In this video, we will show you the new Thai e-visa system and how to get your application approved. Getting your e-visa approved is actually not that hard if you know what documents you need. I will show you what you need, but a word of caution. It will take you days, not hours, so start at least 1 month early. You can start by doing a quick Google search or go directly to this web address. Next, create an account. You'll need to confirm your email, set up a password, and then log in, which will take you to this page. Click on the highlighted box, apply for a new visa, then enter your passport info, country, and when it asks you which consulate, well, that depends on where you live. For me, living in the western half of the U.S., the Thai embassy in Los Angeles was the right one for me. Next, if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see where it asks you more passport information, and then it asks you what's the purpose of your visit, and you can scroll down till you find retirement and click O. The next screen will have you drag and drop your passport, and it will ask for a photo. I just snapped a selfie with my phone and emailed it to myself and then uploaded it from my computer. They were clearly fine with this. Next, just answer all the questions. Place of birth, travel documents, employment detail, and for those things I just put retired and annual income of 0. Okay, this is as far as we can go with our fake Joe Snuffy application because I'd have to submit a passport to get it to go to the next page. So I will just show you the documents that you're going to need. Most of the documents will be easily accessible while you're going through this system. There will be a little icon next to each request that you can click on and you'll see the document. Just print it, fill it out, scan it, and upload. The first of these forms is the additional application form. Obviously, you just fill out the information you can, and for monthly income, I put 0, and then for savings, I put the matching amount of what my statement that I'm going to use later would be. As for the proposed address in Thailand, I rented a house ahead of time because I had to. I have dogs. So I already had the address, but you could probably just put the address of your long stay hotel. Next is your T8 questionnaire form. It's got things like your name, your flight number, your future address, and health statement. I'm not sure if you're going to need this one or not. This one may have been a duplicate form that was covered by something else later on, but just in case, it's easy to find. Get it, fill it out, and see if you're going to need it. Next is your medical certification. Print the form and take it to your doctor to sign off. You may have to do blood tests for this, so plan accordingly. Next up, proof of funds. By now you've probably heard that you need to have $25,000 or 800,000 baht in a Thai bank account. Of course, you've also heard that you can't get a bank account until you have an address in Thailand. Not to worry. When applying for an OA visa abroad, the funds in your home country bank are sufficient. I guarantee you this is true. I just did it. Okay, let's move on to the background check. I screwed this one up and went to my local police and got a record and submitted that. This is one of the 2 things that got my first application kicked back. The Thai consulate requires something from the Fed or the state. I opted for the FBI background check. This can be done in 1 day. Google the FBI background check or go directly to this website. Scroll down until you see the how to submit a request via the electronic submission. Follow the steps. They give you a case number and then instructions on how to get fingerprinted. In the US, you can do it through the postal system. Just show up with your assigned number and the $50 fee. They'll scan your prints and auto send it to the FBI with your identification number, and they will email you your background check, often in the same day. The background check will be included as an attachment in the email the FBI sends to you. Just download that and then attach it to your application. Next up, healthcare. Guys, take my advice on this one. You have to plan ahead. I would say a minimum of 4 weeks out. I applied and waited about a week and found out that I was rejected by my first company I applied for. Now, we've already established I'm a big fat fatty, and apparently they want everybody to meet Asian height weight requirements there. So I found myself in a situation where I needed health insurance now, right now, so I could get my application in. I went back to the agent I was working with and told her that this was becoming kind of an emergency and that I needed health insurance immediately so I could apply for the OA visa. She seemed surprised that I needed insurance for the OA visa versus just wanting good insurance. So that might tell you something about the quality of the coverage I ended up buying. But for a fact, the policy that she sent me to satisfies the requirements for the OA visa. Once you get your insurance policy, there are 3 forms you will need to upload: the insurance cover letter, the certificate for OA visa, and the insurance coverage policy limits. The names on the e-system may not match the names on the forms that you get, so just use your best guess. This is what worked for me. Last item, flight itinerary. Once again, guys, take my advice. You want to do this way in advance, at least 4 to 6 weeks in advance. Most of you have probably already flown to Asia once, and you realize that the decent seats go pretty quickly. And I was very surprised to find out that I couldn't get business class for my leg from Narita to Bangkok even 6 weeks prior because that was already sold out. So book ahead. As far as what proof you need, I just did a screenshot of the email and this was adequate. Once you've completed all this, hit a few more buttons and hit submit, and it will generate your case number. And the screen doesn't really lead you to go to the next thing, but what you have to do next is go ahead and pay for it. So select the payment screen and then make sure you go all the way through till it generates the receipt. That was a mistake I made, and I prolonged this for 2 days because I didn't make sure that the payment had been received. Once all that happens, you should get your visa in about 3 to 5 days. Okay, so that's it. Video 3 is in the can. I'm still about 2 weeks out from fly date, and I've got a few things to square away, like shipping the dogs and the household goods, but we're just about ready to go. If you find these videos helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.